My people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, hoping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today we're doing a breakout trade alert for ZCASH. This is one of the OG coins on the blockchain, top 20, I believe, in the world, specializing in privacy and anonymity for its blockchain users, and it looks like it's about to make a lot of people a lot of money. And I want you to be able to profit as a result. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You are now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you haven't done it, guys, make sure you like this video, subscribe. It really helps YouTube to get this out to more people, and make sure you watch it all the way through, because we are going to be showing you the charts on a breakout trade that could make you a lot of money. In addition to that, we are giving away free Bitcoin. Every single Friday, I give a random community member some free BTC. All you need to do is shout out your city in the comments. On Friday, I'll go through, pick a random video, a random comment, and bam! It's just that easy to get paid. So without further ado, let's make it do what it do. Let's go ahead and make this money. So here we are, ZCASH. ZEC breaks 20-month record. Positive sentiment resurges. And one of the things they talk about in this article, ZCASH price continued from where it stopped last week, reaching a new yearly high. At the time, it was around $45.45. At the time of this video, it's about 41. So it's pulled back a little bit, but I think it's just building up steam, and it's about to take off and leave the station. This price marks not only ZCASH highest level this year, but also its peak since March 23. Let's see. I think this is interesting what they correlate. And keep in mind, a lot of these media outlets will speculate, and try to corroborate information to make the chart seem justified. At the end of the day, this may be true, it may not be true, but I thought it was interesting just to see kind of the fundamentals behind the scenes that could be influencing the macro decision for the price increase. According to Being Crypto, this rise isn't solely driven by buying pressure or general market interest. A key factor behind the increase is speculation around ZCASH's possible shift from proof of work to proof of stake. ZCASH has traditionally relied on the proof of work algorithm, similar to Bitcoin. However, on August 10th, the project's founder hinted at a transition to proof of stake. They noted the creation of new ZCASH through proof of work has contributed to downward pressure in the price over the years, which the recent uptrend is beginning to reverse. And he shared a statement on Medium. I don't really want to go through. It's a 4-minute read. Yeah, so essentially he's trying to increase the price, which is interesting. It's almost like a corporation decision. Like, it's not necessarily what the coin was designed to do anymore. Maybe now it's more about, okay, well, how much can we get liquidity-wise in this asset? But make no mistake about it, they're one of the top coins in the world. They've been around since the early days. This was one of the first privacy coins, and that's what I thought was interesting. Not only could this have some consideration in the market price, but I think what's happening behind the scenes is a lot of big money people are slowly moving their money into the blockchain, and this is the coin that they're using. ZCASH, Monero, Dash, these were the initial portals to get money onto the blockchain without it being tied to a public wallet. And they've even talked about, in this article, they talk about the IRS actually banned some versions of cryptocurrency because it was impossible to see where the money was coming from. And in today's society, Big Brother want to know everything about you. So, Bitcoin is a very, very easy ledger to trace back to back to back to back to back throughout the transactions. Like, I think it's a common misconception that people think it's anonymous. It's not anonymous. Once you put your driver's license on your Bitcoin wallet, they can literally see the other suppliers that you've had, the other different transactions that you had, the other different wallets that you have, where that money came from, where that money is going. And it kind of just is a very easy way to be identified. To whereas when you have these other networks, Monero, ZCASH, and Dash, this is what they were built for, is to mask the identity of the person who owns the asset. Some people say that's not ethical. Some people say it's a necessity. This is a great debate in today's society. But one thing is clear. People who value their privacy are increasing the relative strength of this coin. Make no mistake about it. And so I think that means that there are whales moving money, hundreds of millions of dollars, onto the blockchain, and they're using Zcash as one of the big portals to do it. ZEC is considered by many crypto enthusiasts to be one of the top 10 privacy coins out there, providing users with enhanced security and anonymity for their transactions. With Zcash, you have the power to control the level of privacy you desire. It utilizes advanced cryptographic techniques known as zero-knowledge proofs, which allow you to conceal transaction details. That's a big one. You can't see me. You know what I'm saying? No face, no case. Such as the sender, recipient, and transaction amount. One notable feature of Zcash is shielding cash. This feature enables you to send and receive Z coins without revealing the transaction information to the public blockchain. And that's what I said. It basically says instead the transaction details are encrypted, making it virtually impossible for anyone to trace or link the transaction back to you. Point blank, period. Drop the microphone. People that want to remain anonymous and they got millions of dollars, instead of going down to their local Coinbase office, coming to a U.S. branch near you, they flip it over, bring it in through Zcash, and no one knows where it came from and no one knows where it's going, right? I'm of the mind, that Bitcoin blockchain is like a new idea, right? It's a new concept, a new status quo, a new processing system, right? I'm of the mind to where just because someone has windows on their house, that doesn't give you a right to walk up and try to look in. You see what I'm saying? In fact, you could go to jail for that. Quite sure. I never tried it personally, but I would imagine there's a law out there somewhere that discourages that type of behavior. I view the blockchain transactions as the same thing. Like, yes, there are systems in place to where if someone wants you to see, through those windows, they open the curtains, they let the light in, anybody walking outside can look through, bam, no problem. But the minute they shut those blinds, the minute they decide to close those curtains, what happens in those four walls is no longer your right to view. So I think this is the great debate that society will be having amongst itself for the better part of half a century, especially as perceived government, introduces itself through legislation and what is it? Altarianism? It's one of those words. It's like, they can't convince people that it's the right thing to do, so they force you to agree through assimilation and threatening to take you to jail. If you don't do it this way, you're going to jail. That's probably not the best way to go about it, but what they say, when the only tool you have is a hammer, everything has to look like a nail. Here we are with Zcash. We're seeing major movement happen in this price, and it don't look like a lot. Like Zcash, what I told you, it was like up there. This was like 0.05 BTC back in the day, right? At today's market, that'd be like 15,000. Instead, it's at $41. So, that shows you like the earning potential that was in this economy. And so one of the things that we see first and foremost with ZCASH is it was a long and steady decrease. And between, 2018 and 2020, this thing lost, probably the better part of a few $100 million out of its economy. It squeezed out probably another 50 more. But now, as of July, this thing is making money, right? And when you look into markets, when you look for buying opportunities since the early part of July, this thing is already up 100% on Bitcoin. That is no laughing matter. And that's what I said. Looking at this chart, it doesn't look like a lot at all. Like, that's just a little boop. You know what I'm saying? But at the same point, it's like, that's 100% BTC. So that means if you had 30 grand on it, congratulations, you are in the one Bitcoin club. You see what I'm saying? Whatever you put on it, you double in value with respect to Bitcoin. And that's why we trade alts for Bitcoin. When that chart's going up and to the right, lucky, stop. When that chart is going up and to the right, it is an amazing buying opportunity. And so that's what we see with ZCASH right now. When you jump into the smaller time frames, we can start to pin this thing down on what we expect the price action to want to do. If I want to do that one, do I do that one? Yeah, I think this is the close. That's the closest one. And this thing is just getting started. Like, it could seriously go up another, it looks like 30% from current prices and still be comfortable within the cycle that it's in right now. Keep in mind, if it continues to go higher, this thing is going to ultimately want to enter a long-term macro reversal cycle. And now you're looking at prices way up the top of that curve. One of the things you could do, or one of the things I noticed even in trading, it's like you look for these places to where the price came together. And those are essentially your points of support and resistance. So you see that price just kind of free falled on the way down. Well, it's horrible when you ride it down, but it's great when you come back on the other side, because that means there aren't many areas where the market had a lot of confluence at, and not a lot of areas for the sellers to have motivation to sell it. Whereas once you get at a price point and it's all that choppiness, like say right up in here, that's normally going to take a lot of time on the other side to go through, because it took so much time to fall through. You see? So that's essentially where this chart ultimately wants to get to. And we're just at the very, very, very early stages of it. Like, we would have to go back to this sequence, and that's what the macro is built into this thing, is that cascade right there with the capstone, 4.2 to 4.6. But all you see is that's really just lining up with what I just showed you. That's what the chart wants to get back to. And right now we're at the very, very, very early stages of a very, very, very big reversal. You have to keep in mind, like, alt season is coming. Winter was here for 2.5 years. Like, after the snow come and the ground warm up, like, life emerges. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the cycle of the world. So it's like, once everything is cold, dried up, desolate, it's like the sun come back around and warm everything up, and you start to see some seeds pop up through the ground. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful sight, right? So this is one of the first seeds that I've seen that can give me, positive optimism for the opportunity at hand. I think this shows that those with money are looking to move their money in on the blockchain without being seen. And so now it's like, well, who would want to move money, $20 million and not know who it was? Well, it's not for me to know, apparently. Right? So it's like, this is what we got going on. But I think that's a very, 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 very good sign for the future. You want to see coins like this go up because that means the whales are using it. And once they get their money on the blockchain, they can send it all around the economy and we go jump on the next boat that start to take off. But right now, this train is just now starting to blow off steam. And it's like, you got about 15 days, you know what I'm saying, before this thing take off and make another 15%. So I'm putting that down. I'm putting that into fruition. By September 1st, this coin should be up another 10, 12, 15%, right? So there you go, people. That's what I got for you. If you appreciate this content, again, all I ask is engage with the video on YouTube. It really does go a long way to help the algorithm getting out to more people. Our subscriber rate is going up. The viewer rate is going up. I used to say this is one of the fastest growing crypto trading communities on YouTube. Well, guess what? We hit the reset button. We came back 7 years later. It happened in a 7-year cycle. And now I feel like it's 2016 all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, the big wave ain't even happened yet. Bitcoin's still $600, $700, you know? Ethereum still $12, $16, $18. It's amazing, right? Just add 2 zeros behind it and those prices are just about true, you know? Instead of 500 or 600, it's 59,000. So I'm sure I bought some Bitcoin at like 590 one time. Like, now it's times 1,000. So it's like, well, you know, that's what time do. So we back in it. I'm happy to be here. It's a very exciting time. I think you can definitely make some money with this coin. I wouldn't be coming on here at 11:23 on a Friday night to let you know if I didn't think it was possible. And as a result, I'm opening my doors for a crypto trading community. This is 100% free of charge. If you want to join, go to bossofbitcoin.com. Leave your phone number right there. Everybody that leaves their number this weekend, I will be sending out the link on Sunday. So look forward to that. Everybody that was in that trading group already got this trade. So they already made money on ZCASH. It's up like 5% this week. I was trying to hold off to let them make some more money, but I thought about it and I'm like, this thing is going to take off in like the next 10 days. And I want it to be a good trade. Like, I want you guys to participate too. Cause it ain't no fun if the homeboy don't get none. Right. And all we do is we got sight, we see when the opportunity is coming. So I'm like, cuckoo. I gotta let them know. We go change this world one trade at a time. So with that being said, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh. Arms.